What is up, Team Razor and Cozy Crew? It's Cozy here with another commentary today over yet again another 5-star Team Razor gameplay. Today's gameplay is a Black Ops 2 multi-team 84 Gunstreak playing solo on the map Raid by the man, the myth, the legend, RzoRBoss. What's pretty cool about the gameplay is that even though he's playing by himself solo, he manages to pick up a few good players in the mix and just come out of the match with an amazing score. So definitely enjoy that 5-star gameplay in the background while you hear some 5-star commentary. Let's get started. Alright, so today's topic is kind of awkward. Like, it's kind of more just like, it's my usual storytelling, but it's with a little mix in it. It's basically a compilation of a whole bunch of longboarding stories that I have compiled up in my brain, of me falling off the board, of my friends falling off the board, of a funny crap that's happened before. And I really can't explain it other than that. So the first story I have for you guys is one time where me and my friend Stanby went over my friend Shane's house to go longboarding, because we actually live in a very flat part of town, but Shane happens to live in this really bumpy, hilly part of town where you could just like shred down the freaking hill, come out the other side at 100 miles per hour, not literally, but you know what I mean, where you're just basically a speed demon. And I'm wording this really stupidly. It's basically just really, really, really good hills for longboarding. If anyone out there skateboards, longboards, even bikes or anything like that, knows that the more hill you have, the better it is, the more the incline is. And this is the part of town where there's just a whole ton of hills, and it was definitely a good area for longboarding, but little did we know this would be one of the biggest mistakes ever. Or at least for Stanby. So, we get to Shane's house, and we decide to start longboarding, and the hills sort of near Shane's house aren't too troubling. We're like going down the hills, we're like, alright. And Stanby was just starting to get the feel for longboarding. This is one of his, like, I want to say this was like a month into him, or maybe 2 months, into him getting really good at longboarding, to him really getting the hang of it, standing on a longboard and balancing and going down hills. And the hills in this area are huge compared to what are near our house, but to him, any hill's huge, and these hills were definitely no exception. These hills were even huge for me, and I have had like a whole extra year of longboarding experience ahead of Stanby. So yeah, that's the background for the hills, basically what was going on in the hills. So, we decide to go around the block. You know, like, the hills kind of take you around the area. You don't have to kick too often. The hills just kind of provide just enough, like, oomph to get you to where you need to go. And there's this hill that just looks huge. It's like a huge hill. Imagine, like, a very, very steep hill, but then there's like a cul-de-sac at the end, so you have to like loop around and turn very sharply. And if anyone who's ever longboarded or skateboarded before, it's kind of hard to turn. Like, you have to lean your whole body, and if you're picking up speed, it just makes it wobbly, and you can fall off the board really easily, especially if you're not like talented at longboarding like Stanby was at this time. So we decided to go down the hill, and I was even scared. I had a whole year of longboarding before Stanby, and I was even scared to go down this hill. So I went first. I'm like, alright man, I'll go first. And I decided to go down. And the speed was so much more than I expected. The speed was absolutely crazy. The speed was real. Felt like freaking Need for Speed up in this. It was crazy. I was achieving speed that I've never even achieved before. And you know that like anxiety feeling? You're like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. When like you're on like I'd say like a roller coaster or something, or if you're going very, very fast, or if something's about to happen where like you're like, I know I'm gonna get hurt. I know something bad is about to happen. Something very climatic is about to happen. And this is just going to absolutely suck, and you're just getting yourself like amped up, like, alright, I'm ready. That was basically me the whole time when I was going down the hill. Stanby's a trooper for staying on his longboard. He could have just hopped right off, but we got to the point where it was the point of no return. If we would have hopped off, we would have broken both our legs or something. We were going that fast. We were going down this hill. And then we get to, like, the actual turn where we turned into the cul-de-sac. And Stanby had a plan. Either jump off or stay on the board. There was, like, a little patch of grass he could have jumped off into. And the best case scenario is he hurts his leg a little bit. So he decides to jump off the board. He totally misses his trajectory on it. He hits his head into the freaking curb. near the grass, and he's just laying there like, and I'm circling the cul-de-sac because I actually made it down. Like, my wheels were literally turned on their side almost. I was like almost sideways going around this cul-de-sac. I was like, oh my god, Stamby's dead. Stamby's dead. Stamby is dead. I just lost a friend to longboarding. So I'm sitting there like, oh my god, Stamby. So I go over to him. He's actually fine. He's not bleeding. He just has a headache, and he probably got a concussion and severe brain damage from this, but just never got to check that. So, yeah, that was one of the scariest longboarding moments I've ever had. And I can actually share with you guys another scary longboarding moment. I was at my friend Chris's house, and he actually had previously broken his arm on my longboard. I think about a month before, so I felt bad. I was like, oh, I'm pretty guilty, man. You sure you don't need anything? He's like, oh, you can go to 7-Eleven and grab some Slurpees. So I decided to longboard down to 7-Eleven, and Chris lives on a pretty decently big hill. So I decided to longboard down that hill, and me being stupid, halfway through the hill, halfway through like the climax of the hill, I decided to continually just keep kicking and kicking and kicking. And I went for one last hard kick, like, and it just made me like slip off of the board, land on top of my board, and literally skid down the hill on my hands and knees. And I get to the like it just goes all the way down. Like I'm like spinning out and like try to get a mental image of this. And I'm just sitting there on the floor. My arms, my hands, my knees are just raw as shit. They are just absolutely raw. And it's not like the back of my hands where it's kind of manageable. It is the literal palms of my hands and my kneecaps that are just completely raw at this point. And I'm like, I'm not going to 7-Eleven. So I get up, I grab my board, and I just limp my way up the hill. And I walk into their house, walk into Chris's room, and he's like, what the fuck just happened? And I'm like, and I basically just had to clean out all those wounds, and I got blood all over my board, and I still have blood on the board, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I cleaned that. I don't even know. It might have just washed itself away, or it just might have a fungal infection on my board now from my blood. But, yeah, those are probably two of the worst crashes that I've seen in longboarding. Definitely let me know in the comment section if you guys have had any, like, scary moments like that. And please, 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 if you enjoyed this gameplay or enjoyed the commentary in any way, shape, or form, definitely leave a like rating on this video and let Razor know how they did and how I did. If you want to subscribe, definitely hit subscribe to Team Razor and youtube.com/coziestcommentator. That's my channel URL if you want to check out more videos like this. And I will see you guys next time. Stay cozy.
I can breathe again, I can see again, I can feel how it feels to be free again. I can dream again, I believe again. I see angels looking down in astonishment, and my heart is beating. I'm still breathing, my body is free.